Hey guys, welcome to LoveCast, the BL podcast reviews, where today we're going to be talking about the Thai BL Love in the Air. I'm your host, Alexa, and with me are my co-hosts, Pixie and Kayla. Hey. So we're in person again, which I don't know if our episode will actually be out by the time this review comes out, but if you're seeing this first, surprise, we're recording in person. But yeah, so Love in the Air is a 13-episode Thai BL drama from Me Mind Why, which is MAME's BL company, as I'm sure most of us are aware of. And it follows Rain and Sky, who are two best friends. They're university freshmen, and it kind of follows them into becoming sophomores. But it kind of follows their two separate stories of falling in love with Prapai and Phayu, who are also best friends, but they're older, who have recently graduated from the university where they're attending. So yeah, it's an interesting setup. So they kind of split the two stories into their own chunks. So episodes 1 through 7 were focused on Phayu and Rain, and then 8 through 13 focused on the Sky and Prapai storyline. So I think we're just going to kind of talk about both storylines, how we felt about them, and then give our general rating for the show overall, like we usually do.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think all of us were very into the Phayu and Rain storyline.
I was obsessed. Completely 100% obsessed.
Yeah.
I could not talk about anything else. I was on Kayla's back constantly because she hadn't watched it yet.
Yeah, I'm always very wary of anything MAME puts out, and
Yeah.
especially because it was causing so much of a stir online.
Yeah.
It made me afraid to watch it. But after actually watching it, I didn't think it was that problematic.
No, not at all.
There's still some things that I can get into with MAME's writing that I just don't like.
Of course.
But generally, Rain and Phayu were amazing, to say the least.
Chemistry.
I think it was you who said, like, where did they even come from?
Yeah.
Because it's like these two people, I guess, are rookies.
Yeah.
But they
Never seen them before.
they act like they have known each other forever. It feels like one of those best friend to BL pipelines, but I don't think that's the case.
I think they met at the casting from what I read. So like they just kind of managed to knock it out of the park, and Me Mind Why really lucked out with getting two people with such insane chemistry in the same audition.
Yeah. I've seen people trying to micro-analyze everything that's happening to try and find something wrong with the writing and the script. And yeah, technically when he pushes him down on the bed the first time he sleeps over, yeah, technically that's not okay. But I think people are too focused on finding something wrong with MAME to actually just enjoy the story for if you compare it to her other work,
Listen.
and if you compare it to a lot of other BLs, it has a lot of consent and a lot of less essay.
Yeah. This is like getting into a critique pretty fast, but since we're talking about it, I feel like I usually have the same kind of critique across all of MAME's work. And it's like she's like almost obsessed with writing characters who are essay victims.
Yeah.
But then like she has them like be saved, quote, by a love interest.
Yeah.
So instead of like their character development feeling like it's triumphant or it's like for that character,
for themselves,
it ends up feeling like they're a damsel in distress. That's the way I described it. Is it's very damsel in distress. Like you need someone to come in and save you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, another thing is that MAME reminds me of that saying that people have about authors that's like, they always write about the same thing.
Yeah.
Which, fair enough. I get it because I've written a lot of my life about the same
You
thing.
get obsessed with like certain characterizations.
Yeah, especially if you have gone through certain things in your life,
Right.
you just keep venting in the same form. But I really do feel like there were so many things I picked up on that happen in Love by Chance and Thorn Type and Don't Say No.
Yeah.
Like the sabotaging.
MAME does the whole like bratty bottom, bossy top. That's her staple.
It's her only dynamic.
Her only, literally.
All her characters. And you have like the poor and the rich.
Yeah. I just think it's interesting how this story is, I guess, not related to the Tharn type universe at all, but it still has like kidnapping, essay, rape, even like sabotaging vehicles. Like, what does she have with sabotaging vehicles?
That's true.
It feels like the same thing over and over again, but with different characters. But I will say that the difference I noticed is that I think this series handled those things a lot better.
Yeah, I agree.
Than her previous ones.
I agree.
So that was why I ended up liking it for the most part. I would say with Sky's character, I had some critiques of things that happened to him in the final episode. I don't think they needed to happen.
Yeah.
To get the point across. It felt like very flashy almost.
Yeah. It was like nothing was happening, and then like you said, everything started happening. Yeah. It was too much.
It was almost like one of those things where you can get the point across without explicitly showing something. And I feel like MAME doesn't, she either doesn't understand that or she's just like, fuck it. Let's
put it all in there.
Let's just give this one character all this trauma.
Yeah. Because like with Rain and Phayu, I felt like their relationship was so low stakes.
Yeah.
Like the most intense thing that happened was that race, and like, he got kidnapped. He did get kidnapped, but it felt so much more low stakes compared to Sky and Prapai. Like the last episode of Rain and Phayu, the episode 7, like, yeah, he was technically kidnapped, but like, I don't know, it just felt like two completely different like emotional tones between Rain and Phayu and Sky and Prapai.
Yeah, I mean the way you react to watching it is completely different. What I kind of feel about the whole show is that Rain and Phayu was sort of a storyline she made for others. Like it's what people have been asking for, right? It's all the things people have been critiquing her for, and all that like taken into account and made into a story. But it's sort of like she wrote that so she could have Sky and Prapai in there
and get all of her little MAME necessities put in that one.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Sky and Prapai's story just because I felt like it was boring.
Yeah. For such like a story with so much emotional depth, considering like what happened to Sky and how that was still actively impacting him while Prapai was trying to pursue him. Like I was surprised by how much like I wasn't interested in it, because when I watched the trailers, I thought that was going to be the storyline that I cared about more, and I was like low-key sad that they were keeping the stories completely separate. And I was like, am I gonna make it through 7 episodes to see the one that I actually care about? But then it ended up being like Rain and Phayu who like had me hooked from the first episode. But yeah, I was surprised by how little it felt was going on with how much depth there was to be told in that story.
So I'm gonna be like completely honest. When the Prapai and Sky story came out, what really jarred me, like what took me out of the story, was like the emotional blackmailing Prapai was giving Sky, like telling him, "Oh, you're throwing me out, but I took care of you." I hate that. It's like, and it's not like Sky asked him to do that. Like he did that by himself. So, and him using that as like a blackmail to like get him to stay or not being thrown out, and he does that again and again, and it just jars me every time I see it.
He's like, both him and Phayu are pushy, but in like completely different ways.
Completely different way.
And because of that, I didn't really like Prapai's character. I didn't think that he was like all that charming. I was kind of like, why does Sky like him?
I don't think it was cute as it was framed. It was supposed to be framed as a cute thing, like a guy does being pushy, and it wasn't cute, and it wasn't sexy, and it wasn't like. I was just confused, and I got really bored by the story.
Yeah. I do think that kind of plays into my one like little quip that I had about the Rain and Phayu is that I felt like Phayu treated Rain a little bit too childish for my liking. Like I didn't like how he told him like I don't like people who curse. Like you're like like I get it that Rain was immature and he wanted him to like recognize the importance of being in university and keeping to commitments and being present in the moment, which Rain obviously struggled a lot with.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, some of the times, not a lot of the times, it kind of made Phayu come off as more of like a parent than a potential romantic partner.
Yeah.
And so I think that was my biggest quip with the Rain and Phayu story. And it didn't happen as much in the later episodes once they kind of moved past the trying to get him to fall in love with him aspect. And I was happy for that. But that did kind of, I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that when he would have those lines.
Yeah, one time my friend said to me, I can't believe I'm saying this, you want a parent, not a significant other. And I was like, that's how I feel about Rain and Phayu. Like their storyline is for the bitches with daddy issues. That's why I liked it.
Yeah,
That's why.
That hits home.
But it's interesting that you say about him kind of infantilizing Rain, because that's how I felt about Max and Nat in Cutie Pie.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that. I agree with that. 100%.
It's one of those things where it's like you said, are you a parent?
Or like, are you his dad? Like, I know we might have some daddy issues, but like also like be his partner, please. Like, yeah. And I do think it definitely got better. I think they definitely showed in the later episodes like Rain having more agency in the relationship, but especially in like the first 3 or 4 episodes, it was really heavy on the you're a little kid, and if you want me to fall for you, you have to stop acting so immature. And I was like,
yeah. What I do like about Rain in the show is that he's not afraid to actually show that he likes his partner, which happens a lot. Like you don't have like the damsel in distress, the virginal can't be touched. Like he went for it.
Yeah, went for it.
Yeah, really went for it. ...
Yeah. Another thing is I wish there was more of an emphasis on the street racing.
Yeah, I was so...
Because they make it seem like it's this super, super dangerous thing where no one can find out about it. And like Rain gets in trouble for sneaking in. But like, do they ever explain what Phayu's stake in everything is?
That's what I had the same thought.
What his family's relation to the racing is. It makes it sound like they're in the mafia, but I could never figure out if they were just like rich and did some illegal stuff, or if they're a mafia family. And I wanted to know more about it because I love street racing.
We never got to know who his parents are.
Right. No, we actually don't know a lot about him now that I'm thinking about it.
Him and his twin.
Yeah, they have that big ass, the iconic BL house that's now everywhere. The new iconic BL house.
And he runs the car.
Yeah, he runs the garage on his own, the two of them, and then he's also an architect. Like, I thought he mentioned that they lived abroad in one city.
Yeah, they do.
But like what, you kind of wonder like what is their involvement in their child's life, like their children's life.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there are some like loose ends you can say, but that is not that's not new to MAME.
Yeah.
That's to be expected.
Yeah. Yeah, some of it felt underdeveloped in that aspect of it. I just keep thinking about that scene when Rain gets kidnapped and the guy sends
The
the
picture.
photo of him.
You know
I
how
laughed
many,
so
you know
hard.
how many people made that their profile picture on TikTok after it came out? And every time I was scrolling, I would just see that little picture at the bottom of someone's screen. It was so bad.
It was so funny. They were trying to make it so serious, but
Yeah.
like, why did he look like that? Why did it look like a snuff film?
Yeah,
Or
Oh my
like,
God, yeah.
It looked weirdly sexual.
Oh.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it seriously.
No, you know, one thing I hated, the audio.
Oh my God.
It was so bad,
Why?
especially Sky and Prapai's storyline. The audio was terrible. They couldn't figure out how to do it when they were calling each other with the sound. They
Yeah.
just did an over voice over it, and it sounded horrible.
There were so many moments where I thought that like my headphones were glitching because there would be background noise and then there suddenly wouldn't be. And then it would come back again. And I was
Yeah.
like, what were they trying to
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
Like,
They need to hire a like someone who actually knows how to like do audio
Sound, audio
Oh
editing.
my god.
Yeah, with that, like, I keep saying this, like, Be Mind Why, I know they have such a big ass budget, but they're obviously not putting any of it into the audio
sound,
editing aspect.
yeah.
I was so, during the rain in Phayu, every time it would rain, and it rained so much
Yeah, it
in those
did.
episodes, every time it would rain, the rain would be at like a different volume, and sometimes it was overpowering, and sometimes it wasn't, and then it would cut to like complete silence, and it was just like, what are you doing? Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I know Thai BLs historically don't have the
Good.
best audio, but this was like beyond, like, this was next level bad.
it was
Yeah.
worse than GMM TV.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Yep. No, there's nothing more to say about that. That's so bad. Like, and I didn't notice it as much in Rain and Phayu storyline because I actually enjoyed that. But
You were
but
focusing
Sky
on the
and
story.
Prapai- It's just like, okay. I was a little bit deluded. In the first part, we're not talking about that era anymore.
Just look at Pixie's lock
That
screen.
era.
It's
I
fine.
don't think the era ended.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have the special episode that's going to cost
Yeah, I am
$13.
not paying that.
the $13 special episode.
I am not paying that. That is not happening.
Not even for Boss and Noel? Not even for Boss?
No,
Baby
I
daddy
have
boss.
it on my lock screen. That's,
That's
enough.
enough.
That's enough.
Oh God, no. No, honestly, no. Me mind why project is worth paying
$13 for one episode of TV. And you know it's just going to be, it's a special episode. It's going to be like bed scenes. It's going to be bed scenes. And
100%.
maybe some like couple in, I don't know why I did that gesture, but like, some of the like couple interactions.
Yeah.
That's one thing I was sad about. I wanted to see more of like an overlap of like the two
Yeah.
pairings.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we got some little moments between the two stories, but like I wanted to see more of the four of them in one scene together. And like I feel like that was a downfall of having the stories so separated from each other.
There's no more story to tell. Is there really? What else could they?
That's
tell
what it's
in a
just gonna be
special
bed
episode?
scenes. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Like we know the
100%.
formula.
I don't need it.
I will say though, the acting was like, as much as like the Prapai and Sky storyline wasn't my favorite, Pete especially, like he knocked it out of the
Yeah.
park
Yeah.
with like the
Yeah.
way he was acting some of those more traumatic moments for his character. With Fort, he was a good actor. He looks like so young. He has
Yeah,
such a
he
baby
does.
face.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be what, like 25 or 26. I don't know how old their characters were supposed to be.
Yeah.
But like I had a hard time seeing him as like an adult who was like in the workforce.
He
Like,
sort of acts like a kid too, and I can't get over that. At
But he was a
least
good
Fabio
actor, but-
were like pretty grown up about how he acted.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
they're good actors, and like all of them are good actors. It's just like Boss and Noel.
Boston Noel, period.
That's it.
Period.
Period.
Say period. I don't know why it's so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Are we doing a score?
Should we
Ooh.
score the whole thing, or should we score
Can we score like the
individual? You want to score the
Yes,
individual?
please.
Okay, go ahead, Pixie.
5-1?
That was more drastic than I expected.
No, but you couldn't finish it. It was so bad. I'm sorry. Don't hit me.
5-1.
You guys,
Yes.
we're gonna get canceled by the Fort Peace stand.
You're so gonna get canceled by the Love in the Air fans. Oh my god.
Okay, I'll say 5 for the first part. I'll be generous. 2. For Prapai, 2.
That's not better. You're prefacing it by saying you're being generous.
Yeah.
And it's not because of the actors, it's because their
It's
storyline.
not because of the actors. I
No.
would love to see the actors in a new show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think Me Mind Why, like, they've hit jackpot with these 2 pairings.
Yeah, they
I
have.
mean, they're nonstop booked and busy, so hopefully we'll see them in something beyond that particular storyline. But yeah, I just like, and I know a lot of people really liked it, but it just like, I don't know, I guess it just didn't do it for us.
What
Yeah.
can I say?
Yeah.
Does anyone have any final thoughts on that?
Not nice ones. Let's end on a positive.
Right, well, then that's it for our review of Love in the Air. If you're watching this when it comes out on Patreon, hit us up over in the Discord or in the comments on Patreon and let us know how you felt about it, both parts of the story. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of conversation to be had around it. And if you're watching this on YouTube when it comes out, leave your thoughts down in the comments below. And our patrons do get access to all of our reviews about a month before the general audience. So if that's something you're interested in, you can support us over on Patreon at the LoveCast tier and up. They also typically vote on every review that we do. This one was kind of our choice because we wanted to do something while we were together. But in general, our Patreons vote on all of our reviews that we do. They choose which ones they want to see us review. So consider supporting us on Patreon if that's something that you're interested in. And this will be our last review for 2022, but we'll be back with more reviews in season 3. So until then, have a good new year, guys. Bye.
Bye.